I'm a little surprised, and this might be like way crossing the line. I'm a little surprised we like never.
Please step over it.
I'm a little surprised we never got into like chipping kids. You know what I mean? Because like,
No, bro.
but like all of our dogs are chipped.
Chip them. Do it.
Like if somebody steals my dog, it can't like I can't track it live. But if it ever goes to a vet at any point in the rest of its life, I'll find out about it. So it's like,
sure.
How are we not like? How is there not some? Maybe there is. How is there not like a comparable technology
right in their ankle or their heel
for a kid? Now, Josh, you picked out this whiskey.
Indeed.
This week.
Yeah.
What inspired you?
Well,
was there a reason?
Well, there was a big shelf in front of me. I went to.
I would hope so.
Hold on a second. I went to Lighthouse in Canton.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And their whiskey selection is displayed on shelves very similar to what you have here.
Okay.
They're all like planed off logs.
Yeah.
Which is very cool looking.
Very cool.
Anyway, and that just kind of struck me mainly because of the label.
Okay.
Kind of a similar theme, and I don't know. I
No, it's great.
I like the way it looks.
It's very good. So we have a bottle of Clyde Mays. Let's see. What do we got here? Honoring the historic distillation process made famous by Clyde May. The Clyde 240 is what it says. He was a moonshiner by trade, but a craftsman by heart. He made his famous whiskey in a hand-built copper still with fresh Alabama spring water and the finest local ingredients.
I love how the history of like all these whiskeys started out as they were illegal bootleggers.
Yeah, it actually gets into that. So he was locked up for his passion 8 months in the federal penitentiary.
In the 1800s?
Yet he started up. Nope, not. When
did you say it was?
This would have been
1900s.
Yeah,
1900s?
1900s. Yet he started up those copper stills the day he got out. Is
Good
what
for
it
him.
says. All right,
Did not
good
learn
for the
his
boy.
lesson.
I love a man
No, I
that
did not.
disobeys the law.
It's a nice bottle. I'm a fan. Let's get the top off.
Oh, you know what? He also went on to receive a Purple Heart during World War II.
Ah, man of
he's a
honor.
Bronze Star.
A man of honor.
World War II,
hero and a
two-time
criminal,
world
complicated man.
champs.
Yep. There we go.
Ooh, drip out the side there. Very good. Now, in all transparency, because I feel like I have to be, I have had Clyde Mays before. It's been a while, so this is going to be a revisit for me. And I never consumed it in great quantities. I have
not, never had.
I have tasted this bottle.
But you said there was like another, there's like two, right?
Yeah,
There was like
I think it was Alabama something. I can't remember the right wording.
all right, well, episode 57.
That's right.
Cheers. Ken Norton Jr.
There it goes, baby. All right. Any big, we've not done an episode for 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks? No, we just got
We
drunk
skipped
last
a
week.
week. We skipped a week. So it's been 2 weeks. This will be 2 weeks. When this episode comes out, it will have been 2 weeks.
I showed up last, we just hung out,
Yes, correct.
and I was talking outside. You made us some drinks,
Bonded by the fire.
and I was trashed.
Rum drinks.
Rob's trashed
Tis the
when
season.
I got home. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Any big movies that you have seen in the last?
Big movies,
Yeah, that we've yet to discuss.
recent releases.
Last time we were here, we did Guardians 3.
We did do Guardians.
Yeah.
Only movie that was of recent release that I've seen is Air.
Okay.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon doing the Phil Knight, Sonny Vaccaro, Michael Jordan story.
Yeah, and now that's streaming, isn't it? On Paramount?
Prime. Came out, yeah.
Prime?
I think they did
Amazon Prime?
30 days in
like that?
theaters. And
Okay,
boom.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So you watched it there, I take it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love I don't really know what you call those. It's kind of like a docu-movie, kind of like a biopic, but not really, loosely.
Yeah, it's like a little historical drama kind of.
It was fun. It was very, very fun. I'm a sneaker person.
Mm-hmm.
I think Michael Jordan is the GOAT when it comes to basketball. And
Sure.
it was just fun kind of seeing them recant that history and that story. And I thought they did one interesting thing. Now, we talked about when they were doing this movie in production,
Yeah.
they didn't cast anyone as Michael Jordan.
Correct, yeah.
And he's not in the movie. He's in the movie, but it's always, you see the back of his head.
Yeah.
He never does anything. But at the end of the movie, when he finally accepts the offer from Nike, he's on the phone and it's Michael Jordan's voice. So I thought that was really cool.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I don't know if it was a thing where Michael didn't want to give his likeness or what have you.
Yeah. Now, is it confirmed that it was in fact his voice, or was it somebody impersonating?
I don't know. It could have been
Chat GPT.
Yeah, right. It could have been
Something
AI, but it was his voice.
Sounded like him.
Yeah,
but he wasn't like credited, was he?
I don't know. I didn't even watch the credits.
I feel like he would be in the credits had he been
involved.
Had it been his voice.
He's
I would
like,
think you would think, but maybe not.
Which is interesting because I guess this is kind of like a, art imitating life, whatever.
Yeah.
Him not being in the movie. In the movie, they talk about how this deal was so instrumental into changing the business of how people brand their likeness, right? And he was the first player to get a percentage of the share revenue of the entire shoot.
And that's a big deal.
Right? And I think that because he owns his likeness, I don't know if he would allow them to use any of his. I know like there's pictures of him at the end.
Sure.
His logo is actually in the movie and the shoe, but I know Nike owns that stuff with partnership with him. So I don't really know how that works, but he owns like the Michael Jordan likeness and stuff. So I don't know if he just was like, nah, I don't want to be a part of it.
And I wonder if that's a common thing. Josh, can we do a little research? Is owning one's likeness common? Like, does Kim Kardashian own her likeness?
This conversation came up. Was I talking with you about it, Isaiah? We were talking about how movies are. For instance, Mike Tyson. Yeah. Mike Tyson does not own his likeness, which is why there's always new movies or shows created about him. He's one example.
But I feel like owning your likeness and your story, are those not two different things? Like owning likeness means that, at least as far as I would understand it, and I could be way off here, it would be like you couldn't replicate my face in my persona, my name, and drop me into a movie and use me as that person. Like you couldn't drop me into a historical movie as me, like recreate me, and then have me play some different character.
Like, I don't think
not
I
that
own
it's mine, not
my
that it's
likeness.
Taylor DeYoung, just that you couldn't put me in a movie and use my face and my persona.
You would have to trademark Taylor DeYoung, I guess.
But is it trademarking your name and your likeness has to be a different thing, right?
Yeah, I would believe so.
Because for a while, I think about 20 years, there was no Michael Jordan in sports games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Up until, I think it was like NBA.
It was just recently,
15 or 16 when it was the first year that Michael Jordan was available as a player in those games. So it's very uncommon for specifically an athlete to own their own likeness.
But I wonder what the process is,
right? Like
for
how do
owning one's likeness, and
how do
is
I go
it
about
common?
that?
Like I know that Michael Jordan I feel like he is known for that. Like he's not infamous for it, but like everybody kind of knows that the Michael Jordan brand and likeness,
you can't just duplicate it or replicate it.
It's
or throw
very
it into,
locked down.
If you were
is that common though?
I don't know. For him, it is. I don't know.
Or is he unique in that sense?
The only examples I have of one that has done it very successfully is Michael Jordan, and a person that has done it very poorly is Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that's really.
So it must not be.
I think the estate of Whitney Houston.
Okay.
They own her likeness, so they are allowed.
Perhaps like Michael Jackson. Maybe.
Yeah.
Now this is a real leap. Has Michael Jordan ever appeared in an episode of South Park?
That'll tell it. That's the teller right there.
I know that. I mean, it's hard to think of a famous
because they recreate people all the time.
Been in South Park.
Fish sticks.
Michael Jackson. The Kardashians, Smokey, everyone's been in.
He has been in South Park.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So either there's a loophole
his
there.
His first appearance was in episode 97, which is season 7, episode 1.
Wow.
Episode canceled.
That's early.
March 19, 2003.
All right.
Very early, yeah.
Okay. So
they got away with it.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
How did you like Air? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. I very much enjoy Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jason Bateman is in it, Chris Tucker. Viola Davis really put her foot into the role.
Yeah, it's kind of a big cast.
Very strong cast.
Yes.
Like very, very much of acclaimed actors and actresses.
Now, I've heard it compared a little bit to Moneyball,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it
very much
feels
so.
like it's in the same kind of space.
Kind of like we're trying to ramp up to something.
Yeah. Like a big achievement.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was cool. It gave me Moneyball, Wolf of Wall Street kind
Vibes.
of. Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to get there.
So you'd put it in the, if you were Rotten Tomatoes right now, you'd give it a
80s.
80s.
Because
So it sits like, I think, mid 90s, I want to say,
Yeah.
on Rotten. So you would say that's probably a little aggressive, a little much. You're feeling mid 80s.
I was being, I don't know.
You thought you were being
modest. Yeah. I don't think it was bad
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just
Very
kind
good.
of was like, I don't think it was anything mind blowing about it.
Yeah.
The
But an
performances.
easy watch, not super long. It's
Yeah.
streaming.
I think it was like an
easy
hour,
peasy.
45 minutes.
Go give it a watch, is what you're saying.
Very easy, very informative,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of those movies where you're rooting for everybody in it.
That's great.
So yeah,
Okay.
and very character driven. I love
love
a
that.
character driven movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool.
Good.
So there
for us?
are 30 states in the U.S. that recognize rights of publicity or personality rights.
Yep.
And Isaiah sent me a great article. I'm over here like reading Wikipedia.
You guys
like
are airdropping to
like
each
a Jimmo.
other?
We are.
Nerds.
Anyway, that basically, use of someone's likeness for commercial purposes generally is against the law. However, quite a lot of these states, it's simply case law. There's no statutory law around it. It's just been decided by previous rulings
Yeah.
and whatnot. But generally, people can be held liable if they use someone else's likeness detrimentally to that person.
Got you. Okay.
Gotcha.
South Park kind of gets around it because they can claim parody protection
yeah. Yeah.
under the First Amendment. But what was I going to say? Lost it.
It's all good.
okay, good.
That's okay.
Lost it. That was basically.
gonna-
It's property rights,
Oh, very good.
not personal rights.
Gotcha.
So generally, it survives, like you pointed out with Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
It survives past the individual and can be owned and possessed by an estate or someone else.
Great. Very good.
And also from that same article, it's saying that a lot of these things fall under, depending on where you are, fall
Yeah.
into invasion of privacy laws.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, we're all learning something today. The big movie that I watched,
Yeah, what'd you say?
Dungeons and Dragons, baby. Let's
That
go.
was on
Chris
in my
Pine,
house,
dude.
but I
Chris
didn't
Pine.
watch any of it.
You didn't watch any of it. Who was streaming that?
I
Who
think
put that on?
my wife will watch anything new. She'll just throw
Anything
it on.
new.
Yeah, she'll just
She
throw
just
it on.
throws it on.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, that's new. I'll put it on," and then
Okay. I love that.
It's just on in the house, and she'll just be tinkering around and just be
Yeah,
on.
that's dangerous for me. Because I'll get
Get sucked
focused in,
Me too. Can't do it.
and I can't do it. I can't.
That's
I
not
can't,
my watch experience.
I know. I can't eat food while we're watching something that I want to pay attention to. And Emily hates this.
Yes.
Emily's like favorite thing is to eat food and watch TV shows that she loves. I have to watch passive TV while I'm eating. Like I can't do Yellow Jackets and eat.
No,
I got to do like a 90-day Vanderpump Rules. I got to do something that
Yeah,
I can
something
just like
soft.
it's
Yeah.
passive because I need to be like dialed in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
I
Chanel
can't
hates
be.
it. I can't watch TV with the I gotta have like Sports Center on, or like if the kids are running around. I can't lock in. I gotta lock in.
I can't be wrestling a Caesar
I don't
salad.
know. Maybe that's like
And have
something
high
with
drama.
the man brain
You know what I'm
where
saying?
we have to be like dialed in, like overly concentrated.
Yeah.
That 10-second rewind, which I just figured out how to use on the Apple TV remote. Not all apps support it, but
Yeah.
the apps that do support, do you know what I'm talking about? You rest your
I
finger on one
do.
side or the other and you push. I couldn't. I've seen it happen so many times and I've not been able to figure it out. And then just
Yes.
randomly I got it. That saves me during the eating sessions.
I feel like that, and this is a tangent, Apple focused, but
Here we
I
go.
feel
Go for
as
it.
if
Because I have
that function is very hit or miss and it's app dependent.
it is.
Because there are
It is.
certain apps that are very fussy about skipping
Prime
back 15
will not
seconds,
do
10
it.
seconds,
Yep. Yes.
rewind, fast forward. It's a nightmare.
Yep.
And then depending on whether you're on the which generation of remote you're on, or if you're on the phone.
Oh, on the phone you can scrub.
Yeah, it's
Right?
insanity.
You can't scrub with the remote in some apps.
Which again, you can scrub sometimes. On the
sucks.
phone where you put your finger down and just
Yeah,
anywhere on the
Yes.
screen, I love that, and I'll
Yeah.
flick, and,
Yeah.
go further, forward or backwards. Love it.
Yeah.
But again, you're right. Not
It
all
happened
apps
with me with
support it.
Air. I went from iPad to TV, and it wouldn't let me scrub.
Yeah,
Like with
there's
the
really
remote.
got to be a
So I had to go to my
standards
phone
guide
and
for
do
this,
it.
and I'm surprised that Apple hasn't implemented that yet. Where an app
Yeah.
that plays video must utilize the basic playback controls.
My,
Add your own separately, but you must do
my
these.
understanding, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but W.
Jeez,
My understanding is that
what a loser.
things is that at some point, and I could be totally
Love
making
you,
this up,
JW.
but I'm relatively confident, and I just also don't want to get him in trouble. But my understanding is that a lot of that functionality was ultimately kind of put in the hands of the app developer or the subscription service, if you will. Apple tried to box some of these things in, but
Yeah.
it was hard to get everybody to play nice. So they had to kind of open things up a little bit more so that more people would get involved in the ecosystem. It's kind of my understanding of the situation. It's kind of why single sign-on never had tons of success.
Yeah, gotcha.
And if we want to go down a rabbit hole of a rabbit hole right now, I had an issue this week.
Let's go.
You guys will love this.
Alice in Wonderland.
This is
Let's
Apple. This is Apple Inc. theft is what it
Okay.
is, dude.
Okay.
All right.
Someone emailed Tim Cook and let him know. So I don't know if anybody else has ever had this happen before, but you can, with some apps in the Apple TV, you can use your iTunes login information
Yes.
to your Apple ID to subscribe
Yep.
to a
Yes.
service,
Yes.
right? Hulu, whatever.
I've done this.
like an
I've done
in-app
this.
purchase.
I
Yes.
know exactly what you're talking
So-
about. Yeah.
Had subscription to AMC Plus.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had the subscription to AMC Plus since 2022, March of 2022. So at some point
exactly what
in
you're
the
talking
last
about. It sucks.
6 to 8 months, AMC Plus has discontinued their in-app registration for iTunes purchases.
Okay.
Basically meaning that they're requiring you now to have a separate account outside of the Apple ecosystem. So you have to go to AMC Plus, create an account, put in credit card information or whatever,
Yep.
and then you can use AMC Plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, AMC Plus on the Apple TV discontinued working when they started doing that. But the auto subscription has continued to roll since that point
So you're
forward.
technically
So
still
AMC
subscribed, right?
and Apple are still auto charging me for a service
no longer
that there's
exists.
no way for me to access. So I've been back paying on a service for which again, sure, shame on me. I should have been paying attention to this. I should have been focused up, but I just did the simple thing, what Apple offered and what AMC offered at the time. But at some point, AMC decided that they didn't want to pay the Apple tax.
Yeah, the commission,
So they bailed on that, but it doesn't connect all the way back down. It does it to the user. So it's not like they stop charging you and they say, hey, this service
They
is
didn't
no
just
longer
move
available.
billing elsewhere. They
Correct.
created a whole nother
So
billing. Got it.
I went to go use AMC Plus the other day. I know I'm being billed for it because I just saw a bill pop up in my email for it 4 days ago. Go to use AMC Plus. Can't
get
log
in.
in, can't restore purchase, can't access it. Contact them. They're like, oh yeah, we discontinued that a long time ago. If you want to use the service, you have to create an account through a web browser, sign up, do everything. Put your credit card information in, and then you can log into the app on your Apple TV. So Apple and AMC Plus, I don't know where the money's going ultimately, but they've
getting
just
paid?
been rolling the auto charges for a service that has not existed for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's an AMC issue, actually.
It's
wild.
not.
Well,
It's
okay, so here's the thing. No, I know
wild.
that Apple's charging it, but when AMC chose not to do it anymore, they could very easily go to Apple and say, this in-app purchase item, all these subscriptions need to be canceled.
We had
And
the
they
same
didn't.
exact problem with BET Plus because we were trying to watch Martin.
Who owns BET? CBS, I think, owns BET.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who owns AMC?
Viacom owns
Yeah.
BET.
So
Do
if-
they own AMC also? Is it a CBS
we had
Viacom
the
issue?
same exact problem. We had discontinued the subscription.
Yep.
Right. We're no longer getting charged.
Yep.
Right. And we went to Chanel was like, oh, there's something on BET Plus I want to watch. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. Just, I went to my iPhone, boom, 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 did a resubscription, boom. So download the app on the TV, Apple TV, go to open the app, and it's like, you got to log in. And I was like, I've never had a login. I was like, I don't know
What
what
app
this
was this? Sorry.
BET Plus.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, real black shit.
Yeah.
And I never had a login, right? So I'm like, how are we watching this? And I never had a login. So it was kind of like the inverse of what you were dealing with. I was like, yo, I've never logged in ever. So how were we? And Chanel was like, no, I did it this way. So she went into the Apple TV home UI, then went down to BET Plus, clicked that channel, and then we had access to all of the.
Yes.
So it's very convoluted that you can subscribe to something, can't get into the app, but then you can still subscribe to it and have access to it through the Apple TV channel.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Listen, I'm still going to say that it's their fault.
It's very odd.
Like, they can shut off those auto subscriptions at any time.
It's crazy.
And Hulu, to their defense, they did something different. There's a little bit of a workaround where now if you use Hulu, you cannot restore your you cannot restore old in-app purchases through Hulu, but if you go and create a Hulu account and then you go in through a web browser, you can attach your prior iTunes subscription to it through that. You still have to have a dedicated Hulu login. It's the only way to access it within the Apple TV or whatever, but once you do that, it all connects or something. Anyway, PSA for you kids out there and adults.
Basically, pay attention to those emails
34.
that say it's going to auto renew.
If you have a subscription service, just keep tabs on that thing.
Yeah, because they'll get you,
They'll
bro.
flip the script on you real quick. And let me tell you, they're going to keep running that till the day they die. They're not going to stop the subscription auto roll feature.
That's why those
they're going to run that.
Those apps that say, oh, we can find money from secret subscriptions you are not paying make money, because people are actually paying for shit that they don't know that they're paying for.
You can go into the settings in your iPhone or whatever, and you can see all your subscription services. It is clear. Now, that does not go into account for anything that you've signed up outside of your Apple ID. But what's misleading is for the past year, I have thought I have AMC Plus. If I go to my subscriptions, it shows AMC Plus is a thing that I'm paying for. I'm getting billed for it. So I see that. And the truth is, I don't actually have access to it.
Now, did you go into the Apple TV UI and see if you can get to the channel?
To AMC Plus?
Yeah.
No.
Try that, because that may be what you're paying for. Because now
we've gone through. I mean, this has all been. We've upended all this and started over. But it's and they also changed the app altogether. So they've also moved apps. So I'm subscribed to an AMC app that no longer, because it'll show you the app icon.
Yeah,
that app icon no longer exists. That app is gone. It's a whole new thing. We had to download a whole new app to access AMC Plus for whatever reason, which there was already an AMC Plus app. Anyway, neither here nor there, guys.
Scam.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting
it's
is
theft, bro.
They are still offering a way to subscribe to AMC Plus through your Apple ID. Because I'm looking at it now, because apparently I had an AMC Plus subscription as well.
Yeah.
But is it the new AMC Plus or is it the old AMC Plus? Yes.
The fact that there too is just...
It's black and green. The old one was white and black. Which one are you looking at?
You can still subscribe to the bright and black one.
Yeah, see, they're stealing money. Yeah, they're stealing.
But that says AMC Plus, right? Yeah. So that right there is not a real thing.
Yeah.
You cannot use that on... I'm telling you, you might be able to subscribe to it, but you cannot use that on your Apple TV. It's not a thing.
I believe you.
That's what I've been paying for. It's not a thing anymore. If you search AMC Plus on an Apple TV to download the app, that's not what it looks like. And if you open the new one, you cannot use that information.
They've got an FAQ on their website that says how to subscribe in app, and at the bottom of it, and the FAQ was written August 21, and at the bottom it says starting August starting in 2 weeks.
Right.
You also have the option of creating your own AMC Plus account online and signing up through there. So they're still listing an obsolete way to do it on their website.
Almost 2 years old. But you want
back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Chris Pine.
I like
It's
Chris
got a
Pine.
91% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was in theaters for a a while.
It's got like a big owl in it, right? Like a big owl.
It does.
Okay, so yeah, I was making sure that was
big
true.
owl bear.
Yeah.
It's a very easy watch. It's fun. It's a good time. There's a little bit of humor in it. It's very serviceable. It was not astonishing. The 91% was a little surprising. I probably would have given it like an 80s, mid 80s maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine. I would watch another, but it wasn't like incredible. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
I wasn't like blown away.
That's how I felt about it.
Fun to watch. All right.
Because you're a Dungeons and Dragons guy, though.
I aspire to be.
There's no way that you can say Airdrop is nerdy and he says he aspires to be a Dungeons and Dragon guy and you not flag that as nerdy also.
Well, that nerdism was satire.
Satire. Hilarious. I LQTMS'd, laughed quietly to myself.
I have a Dungeons and Dragons starter kit I have yet to crack into, but
Oh, you got that for Christmas, didn't you?
Yes, I very much want to. Honestly, what sucks about being an adult is that you just have very little time to do the things that you want to do. And so,
Like eat while you watch TV.
Like take a shit.
That's one of them. So cracking into Dungeons and Dragons and getting the boys around, it's just like there's
tough.
There's a little bit of effort.
Can
that
you
goes
do it
into that.
digitally? Like, can you play like
I guarantee you that there are
there an app
probably digital
that
means
we could
of
like
doing it.
learn?
But I think
with a subscription.
I feel like you kind of lose some of the fun, though, right? Like, don't you want to be together?
It's like
It's kind of a
get
thing.
together every week. Yeah.
And then we travel to the upside down.
It's post-COVID, man.
I get abducted.
But yeah, so I would recommend that you give it a watch, and maybe I'll get around to playing the game at some point soon. I would love to do that. That was my big movie of the past week. I don't think I really knocked out anymore, but we'll get to watch lists in a little bit, but why don't we take a shot at the first bit of news here? What do we got, Josh?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny reviews.
I'm fine with that. I was going to say, did you want to?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I should have.
It's okay. We've been talking for a few minutes. What's up with the Clyde Mays? How you feeling?
Wait, Clyde Mays is
Are you satisfied?
very distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, he is.
He's very distinguished. Yeah. I am enjoying it. It's very full. Has a kind of a peanut buttery aftertaste, to me anyway.
Okay.
It could be like a type of nut. Pause.
Okay.
I don't know what the word. What do you
take a
classify peanuts and cashews? What is the whole family of those?
Well, a peanut is
it's a nut.
Peanut is a
Peanut is-
legume.
It's a nut.
Not a
Cashew is a nut.
Legume.
Almonds.
Almonds are nuts, yes.
Nuts.
We don't have any tasting notes on the bottle. Could be some on the website.
The tasting notes are barrel spice, fruit,
Okay.
oiled leather. Ooh. Yeah,
could be where you're
that's
getting,
that's
could
the
be
palate.
where you're getting the nut from.
The
oiled leather.
Yeah.
Oiled leather.
I
don't know what sounds worse.
Flaviar-
Nut or oiled leather.
Flaviar says that you get peach strudel and caramel apples over toasted oak and light spice.
That's what it is. Probably that toasted oak.
That's exactly what I was going for. It's just stuck on the tip of my tongue. No, it is good. I think it does have a nice little flavor profile. It does
job,
not
Josh.
have a harsh bite to it or anything, but it is very flavorful. It doesn't feel like a light whiskey.
No,
it
it's
feels
very
like
heavy.
you're drinking
Full,
a whiskey.
not
It
heavy,
feels
it's
full.
full, yeah.
But it's not like, it doesn't have a bad aftertaste. It's not, stinky or weird.
Yeah, it has a nice sweetness level to it.
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. It's like a healthy balance
It looks-
of all things you probably want in a bottle, I would think.
It looks like it has a very full, like the consistency of it looks full, like the color.
You're saying the translucency.
Yeah,
That's called cinnamon bronze.
Hey,
that's what they used to call me.
And Josh,
I know our fans are just like, these guys' jokes suck.
Idiots.
Let's get a dollar amount on this bottle before Courtney cancels us any
So
further.
that was 48 from where I got it, but looking at it, Total sells it for 42. So
Ooh,
All right, so but
did.
it's like a mid 40s bottle, so it's a
That's-
little bit
yeah.
above your entry, but it's probably a good price point. I would say.
Yep, I would
If
agree.
this was
Tastes like
mid,
a
if this was
$40
50s and up, I would say probably a little much, but it's not a bad price point. I recommend it.
Yeah.
I say get
Thumbs
out,
up.
get out there, get some Clyde
Yep,
Mays,
I like
baby. All right, moving on. Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indy.
Dial of Destiny. Now I've been
Safe, wacky, empty.
there. It is. I've been very outspoken about hating the name of the movie as a big Indiana
Destiny of
Jones
Dial.
fan. Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny.
Like
Yeah.
Twister.
I just don't.
This is a big game of Twister.
I don't care for the name.
That's what the preview seems like.
Yes, it is. The trailers are chaotic.
I mean,
would say, but
I think,
They
but
looked
aren't all
good.
Indiana Jones movies a little crazy?
a little chaotic.
Yeah. Think about it. They're all a little
Yes,
like,
they can be.
he start
That
off in
is
a classroom,
true.
he ends up on the river and like,
That is true. I would say that Indiana Jones has always had. It's always been a little bit more like adventure with like a little hint of supernatural sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. I feel like what's happened as we've gone further into the
like an
movies,
artifactual
we've kind of
element to it.
flipped the two, and I've not seen the newest one, but I get the sense that there's some time travel involved. That's my
no
guess.
way.
I could be wrong.
In Indiana Jones?
So, like again, the last one, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or whatever it was called.
Yes.
Again,
Remember that.
aliens, getting into that whole thing, which I'm not mad at, but it does kind of do that thing again where I feel like it just kind of becomes more sci-fi, more like down that road of just absurdity and a little bit less like archaeologist, historian, adventure movie. I don't know.
It's kind of tipping the scales with like National Treasure.
It kind of moves more like X-Files or something. Like, I don't know. Not like the same, like not the same tone, but I would rather like, I don't know. I would have rather had a little bit more of a grounded approach to Indiana Jones's final outing. I feel like a good example of this, and you may disagree, but like the Wolverine movies,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
And then the kind of like his last Wolverine movie, the Logan one,
Yeah.
like we had solid Wolverine movie, then it kind of just got crazy, and they came back with Logan, and
it
they
was
were
like,
like,
oh, okay.
we're gonna make this dope again, and they
Yeah.
did a good job of that. And I think actually, and I could be wrong about this, Josh, you can confirm.
Yep.
The guy that did Logan is actually who
James Mangold.
did
Oh, really?
Dial of Destiny. I want to say
James Marigold. Is it Mangold or Marigold?
Mangold.
Mangold.
Is that correct? Yeah or nay?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, he did both.
Yes.
Oh, I like his.
So I was hoping for that a little bit. I was kind of hoping maybe he would bring us a little bit back from all the sci-fi weird stuff.
You're kind of grounded a little bit.
As somebody who's not seen the movie, this is all speculation. I'm just guessing time travel is involved based upon what I've seen in the trailers.
Yeah.
When does it release?
It comes out in like a month, I want to say. It's like June something.
30th.
It'll
Yeah,
be on
end of
Disney.
June.
It'll be on Disney Plus by August.
So it premiered at Cannes, I believe, which was a little bit aggressive. A lot of people were thinking because initially when they announced that it was premiering at Cannes, everybody was like, oh my gosh, it must be incredible. Like it must be really good if they're going to preview it so early, and then reviews are obviously going to come out so early. And that did not necessarily wind up being the case. It seems like it's gotten kind of 50-50 split reviews. I don't know what it'll eventually drop at, probably somewhere in the, I would guess 50s, 60s maybe. I don't know, but
I'm sure I'll see it. I'll personally, I'll probably wait till it's on Disney Plus.
yeah,
But
I feel like the Disney Plus thing's been kind of letting me down a little bit, if I'm being honest. It takes so long to get stuff on Disney Plus.
yeah,
Nothing
the
hits-
original stuff is
Nothing
just
hits
shows.
Disney Plus.
Like where you got to give us original movies as well with the like the blockbuster stuff. Like we're
Like-
not.
Isn't Avatar still not on Disney Plus?
No, it's on there.
Did it
Is
but
it?
it just dropped.
It's there.
It's.
The second one.
I believe it's there because
I watched it on something else.
yeah, it's there.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I'll say it off air. But I'm going to watch John Wick tonight. 4.
There you go,
June
baby.
7th is Avatar 2 on
Thanks,
Disney
Josh.
Plus.
There we go.
and Max.
This is my point.
Yeah. Takes too long.
Yeah.
Speaking of Max,
Oh man, this is a perfect
Jeez.
segue.
Max
Is this what's
Payne.
next on the list? Actually,
Max Payne.
It is next on the list.
What?
Look at you
so
guys.
we're gonna put
What?
yeah, that puts a perfect bow on Indiana Jones. Bummed to hear it, but Max,
trash.
HBO Max, now Max, has had a pretty rough go at it. It seems failed on launch day. Seems like we shouldn't be dealing with that kind of stuff anymore at this stage in the game. A lot of streaming services out there. HBO is hardly new to the game.
This is the fourth. Is it the fourth iteration of this app? The fourth time we've done
Well,
this?
there was HBO Go.
Then
There's
there's HBO Now.
HBO
HBO
Now.
Now.
And they were separate apps.
Yes, that's true. And
which
then
made
there
no
was
sense.
And then they got rid of Now.
HBO
and was
Max.
Only Go. And then they went to HBO Max, and they
Max.
acquired Cinemax and all the
then
other networks.
yeah,
and now it's
Max.
Now it's Max.
boom. Yeah, HBO Go was for people who had a
HBO subscription.
HBO
okay.
subscription through
Cable.
like a
Cable.
cable provider, and then
Right.
HBO Now was like a separate like
Yep.
pay to play kind of thing.
I never knew the difference. I logged into both.
Yeah, and HBO Go, I think HBO Go also didn't do live streaming for a while. I don't know if it ever did. So like if you wanted to watch like Game of Thrones live on your Apple TV or something, you had to
you
have
had to
HBO
wait. You had to
Now.
wait.
If you wanted to watch on HBO Go, you had to wait till it aired.
Stupid.
Who's making these decisions?
Great question, dude.
The same people running DC.
Question.
Stupid people.
Warner Brothers, man. Whoever
But-
those two guys are.
Have you had any experience with Max? Have you downloaded the app?
Yeah, what did we watch? last
You
night?
downloaded the new app. Now,
Yeah.
does it replace
Well,
HBO Max?
you have to re-download
This is the
app.
process.
It's a whole other app.
You get the email and they're like, hey, get ready. We're going to do all this. Download the app, blah, blah, blah. You're like, okay, all right. So you open up HBO Max and it says, hey, all of your stuff has now been moved over to Max. Download. There's a download button and it takes you to the app store of the Apple TV. I'm doing this on Apple TV. And then you download the Max app. Everything is migrated. There's a different kind of layout. It does the Disney Plus thing where you can kind of personalize your avatar. You can select from like different characters of different shows for your avatar. Mine is Leon from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay.
You can pick their Succession.
So it's kind of like a Netflix thing where you get your own little
Yeah,
profile.
yeah. It's a little cleaner
Then
than HBO Max. It feels more condensed, but I don't think there's as much content. I haven't had a chance to like.
There is not.
I thought so. It
Yes.
looked very limited.
There was a lot of stuff that was stripped. And I read about this today where basically they separated HBO content from Warner Brothers,
Okay.
right? Warner Discovery, right? Because when HBO Max became a thing and it essentially became the Netflix for old Warner catalog stuff,
Right.
which really there was very little HBO stuff.
So where's
So
the rest
they
of that
separated
content going?
that.
Is that going to be the HBO Discovery app?
Maybe we'll see. I don't know.
So what? That just makes no sense to me that you would separate the content, but then keep all of the HBO stuff there.
these are great questions, and I'm sure there's
It makes no
big
sense.
legal teams sorting through it all.
No sense at all. You would think as a home of all of this stuff, HBO Max was fine. Like there was a DC hub, like it had all the hubs.
I hated
Right.
the name.
Oh, the
I don't
name's
know why we
terrible.
can't just call it HBO. Like, why can't there just be an HBO
Home
app?
box office. That's exactly what it is.
Just have the HBO app, and then just have
Probably
everything
deal
under
with
that.
Cinemax.
We're gonna
Which
get
made
another
them-
app change. You know
Yeah,
that, right?
but like what?
2
but
years they're gonna change it again.
But HBO, didn't they acquire Cinemax? I mean, it's not like they have to have the name.
It was probably something in the contract.
And are we sure there's not a Cinemax app still?
I don't know.
Because I'm probably auto subscribed.
Yeah, you probably are. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. So I've not used the new app. I cannot speak to it, but I have heard there has been a lot of issues with it. You've used it. You've enjoyed it. You've created your own little profile. And I love that. I think
I
that's
just
great.
think, yeah, it's a little cleaner, less content, We watched
Less for more. It's great.
started I'm gonna say we watched Shazam Fury of the Gods last night, which is Shazam 2.
Oh, an instant classic.
Terrible. Terrible movie.
I concur.
All right. Next item on the agenda.
Next item on the agenda: Disney closing Star Wars Starcruiser Hotel.
Heard about that.
Josh, I kind of put this on there for you.
Yeah, talk about it, Josh.
I just thought
You know
that this
what's
was
funny?
a fun. There's been a lot of Disney news lately,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Disney, Florida, Ronnie Boy, they're all getting after each other on there.
I saw this on the list as we sat down and started here, and I thought, should I look into this? And then I said, no, they're probably going to talk about
He's
it.
announcing his presidential run, I think, right now on Twitter,
Bro,
isn't
he
he?
is raising hell down
Yeah.
there.
Is that happening right this second, or is it later tonight?
I don't know. I knew it was happening.
It's not yet.
Oh, 2 hours ago.
It already happened.
2 hours ago, I'm running for president to lead our great American comeback.
No, but
capitalized.
did he do his spaces, his or whatever it's called?
Well, he's got
doing
a
like
video.
Jeez.
He's supposed to do a live
I
Twitter
see.
Spaces or whatever it's called with Elon Musk at some point
my
tonight.
God.
Right.
The NAACP issued a travel warning for black people to not go to Florida, bro.
So black people, people of color.
And LGBTQ.
It has
don't go.
happened.
It did. Okay.
An hour ago, Elon retweeted the
the link
So
for it.
he's
okay.
supporting.
And now it says play recording, so it's been finished.
Oh, he's
So-
gonna get a crazy following, bro.
Yeah, Elon has said that, not to confirm nor deny like his position in anything, but he has said that whatever presidential candidate wants to come on Spaces and like do their thing, he'll host any of them. So it's not.
Oh, so he's not like exclusive to Ron DeSantis.
He's not exclusive
just
to
kinda
Ron.
like-
He just said whoever wants, like he did tweet out earlier today. He was like, if anybody wants to announce their, presidential run or they want to come on Spaces and talk to people, like I'll host it. So he's, anybody can.
I mean,
hop in.
Florida's always been a red state. They're gonna get behind whatever, whoever comes out of there. It's just interesting that with all the stuff that's going on, and it's just being done down there.
It's a crazy time, dude.
Yeah.
It's a crazy time. I am going to guess. This is a little prediction moment for me. I'm predicting that Trump
Yeah,
he's obviously running for president. We know that.
yeah.
I'm betting that he gets into it and then Ronnie becomes his VP.
I want them to have a celebrity boxing match for the primary,
like a celebrity death match.
for the primary selection, and then we.
Oh, it's gonna be that, dude.
Yeah, they're gonna beef hard up until the point.
If you go back and watch some of like the old like debate videos, and they're brutal. They're bad.
it's gonna get bad.
Trump was a savage, dude.
He still is. Always has been.
He laid waste to a lot of people. They didn't know, like nobody knew what they were getting into
with him.
With
He's
him.
a wild card.
There's just no.
It's like fighting a porcupine,
Yeah.
bro.
It's right.
At
dude.
any moment, he's
Don't
gonna
know where to
shoot.
go.
You don't know what
Dude.
he could like stand up and put his fists up, or
That's
just turn
right.
around and hit you with the spikes. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. Wrestling a pig in the mud. As they say. You just can't get your hands on him.
Yeah,
He's just
bro,
crazy.
he's slippery.
It's a wild time.
That's if he doesn't get indicted, which that is another thing. Like,
It's going to be an interesting year. But back to Star Wars
Sure,
and
sure.
their hotel closure.
Yeah.
All right. So apparently there's this Disney put out there's like a hotel, Star Wars themed. It's an experience, right? You go.
it's like staying on a starship,
on
right?
a starship. Yeah. Battleship, Starship, something like that.
Death Star,
Battle Cruiser,
whatever.
something like that.
Battle Cruiser. yeah.
You go. I think it's like a 2-day experience for a family of 4. I think it's like six grand. But you show up and it's like it's an immersive thing. Like you are interacting with characters for your time there.
It's like you're in the Star Wars world. staying on the
Correct.
ship.
Yeah. The vibe is that you're on a ship. Now, apparently this did not go so well. Some people I think, that have gone on it have had favorable reviews of the experience. Like I think it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it's a pricey little voyage for two nights. Now, my
$6
question,
grand for 2 nights is a little heavy.
that's for a family of 4.
Is
So we could
is
do
it
the
all
math.
inclusive for
I
the
don't
2
know.
nights?
I was
Can
curious about that. Does it include food and drink
Is it like
for your
Vegas,
stay?
but Star Wars?
Can we figure that out?
Yeah,
Can I go play poker with Han
And then
Solo?
can we do the math? So 4 people broken up over, 48 hours, all your meals, everything. Like what is that per head?
how big is the room?
Yeah,
Am I
what
like on a
is-
cruise ship size room, or am I like a suite?
I think they're nice little like suites.
So it's for 4 people, it's $4,800 for 2 nights.
Okay.
And if you want a 4-person cabin, it's about $6,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like the best movie I can reference is what is
so
that? Guardians 2, where there's like, I don't know, I don't see the pictures, but
Yeah.
in the ship there's like the middle space, and then there's the cabins around it.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
just
something
shooting.
something to that effect.
Yeah.
But $1,500 a head for a family of 4.
Well, $1,500 is not bad for 2 nights for that type of experience, I guess.
It does include food.
Oh, okay.
right.
So
Star Wars food, blue milk.
The pictures are, I mean, this could just be.
I've seen some photos of it.
This could just be. Oh,
That
it's
looks
shrimp.
crazy.
It's blue shrimp, which to me is
all
not
that
appetizing.
iodine.
Do you see
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
So,
That's
and
not-
you can go on YouTube and watch people who have gone through the experience and like videoed it, like GoPros, and done the whole thing. So it is. I mean, it is a cool thing, but I guess there's just not enough people out there willing to drop the $6K for the family of
They
4
should just have a.
to do the experience.
Is and Josh,
Yeah.
you could correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Do they just have a Star Wars hotel where you can kind of get the same kind of?
They don't.
I don't think so.
See, that would
They do
would
not.
probably be more conducive than trying to. I mean, essentially, that's what that is. But I just don't know if that price point for people coming to Disney World. I don't know. I don't think that's worth it. I would think.
Well, you've also got to remember that Disney World, I think we've talked about this before. Parents bring your kids to Disney World and they sell it as the kids can have fun and the adults can have fun.
Right.
But you already expect to spend a lot of money. Then on top of it, you pay $6,000 for basically just your lodging.
Yeah.
But it includes food.
Okay, great.
And I would guess, though, that a lot of people that are taking this experience or going on this experience are traveling just for it. Maybe that's the
Sure.
issue. Like
Possibly.
I wouldn't imagine you'd be like, I'm going to go here for 2 nights and knock this out. Then we're going to go do.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I would imagine that there's quite a lot of people that do that because
Okay.
if you're going to this experience, you're going to spend your time at this experience. Then you've really only
Then
been there
you
for
wanna-
2 days.
you wanna
then you
double
want to go
down
to the
after that,
parks and then
yeah.
you want to, do your exploring and you're going to have to
Okay.
stay at another hotel.
So then it clearly just becomes
Very expensive.
very expensive.
Yeah, that just seems like.
But you're a big Star Wars guy. Would you?
Yeah.
I mean,
If
you
it-
obviously did not go to this.
Not
but-
for $6,000, no. I
No,
would
you
not.
would not.
Nah. It would. It's
Now,
that
what
type
if-
of immersive experience, right?
Yeah.
For me, I don't know, $1,500 for me personally. Yeah, but if I'm going to Disney World,
What if your kids were huge Star Wars fans?
maybe.
Because I feel like you look at it and you're like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I would pay $1,500 for myself for the 2 nights. Absolutely.
Yes.
For my family to go to Disney World, I would think they would make it a more conducive price point for us to just stay there for our trip to Disney World, rather than I'm at this auxiliary part of the park that's doing its own thing. And then we're done that, and I got to stay somewhere else for 4 or 5 nights.
Yeah.
Like, just make it a place where we can stay for our entire time at the park. Like, let's do a Pirates of the Caribbean hotel or ship or whatever.
So you're talking about multiple hotels that are just themed.
Yeah, just theme multiple different locations that you can stay where you get the immersive atmosphere of whatever you like.
But it's not as expensive.
But it's not as expensive, right?
be the future of
The
it.
Disney Princess Hotel, they got the Marvel Avengers Tower you can stay in, right? Like, do all of this where, in the tower, there's like SHIELD agents that
I
all
got you.
work there. It just doesn't make sense
It could.
to make.
Also
Could be the
does
future.
It also does not include your park tickets to the
Oh,
other
see?
parks.
That's
you can get
crazy.
into Hollywood Studios, but not to any of the other parks.
So you got to make this all one thing, right? And I know, I get it. It's a business. But for the blue collar worker, I consider myself like, I don't think I'm like, was it high class where I'm just like, I'm slapping it down and let's go. And, I'm not worried about price, right? People are spending their hard-earned dollars to create these memories for their children
Yeah.
or what have you, and they want to take them. And now they got to pick. right? I got to pick like, oh man, I want to do that, but I'm here with my kids, so we got to do this. And, maybe one day I'll be able to bring myself back and just do this, right? Where we can have our choice of anything we want at the same price point for all of it.
Would you rather that experience? Would you rather the experience of the Star Wars hotel for $6,000, or would you rather the VIP tour guide at Disney?
Yeah, VIP tour guide.
VIP tour guide at Disney.
I've heard it's great.
I think that's also around $6,000.
Yeah, it is.
I'd much rather pay
and that's
for
for the day.
Yes.
Yeah, I would much rather do that for one day.
But I think you can take more people.
And then, right. And then and stay wherever I want. And then, because ultimately you only need one day with your kids.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing that. You can't do that 2 days with them. Their little legs are just going to be just spaghetti noodles by the time it's over. So
what's the VIP tour guide package run us,
I'm looking
Josh?
at that right
and
now.
And how many people can we take?
Prices range from $450 to $900 per hour.
How many hours do you need? Like 5?
Up to 10 guests.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, bro. Each of us can pay for an hour. You know what I'm saying?
You get 8 of your friends, 6 of your friends around.
Yeah.
You get the VIP treatment because you get bumped to the front of every line.
Every
you
line,
have somebody that escorts you
boom.
to all over the place, takes you behind the scenes.
Backstage. Yep.
Like I would pay for that for my family versus just going to Disney World. Like I'd pay for that. I would get us there, get accommodations, and then for one day, 4 hours, I'm paying for the VIP package.
Now I'll say one more thing though about the VIP, and this is very Disney. You can book the VIP package $450 to $900 depending on the season. It does not include park admission also. So you're then on the hook for another $125 a person, which is not terrible, I suppose. I mean, well, it's pretty terrible, but
it's like general admission to a club, and you got to pay for the bottles, whatever.
Sure.
I feel like the real hack here is to get like 6 to 8 of your friends together. This has got to be a no kids situation. No offense to kids.
Hunty P.
Oh yeah.
It does. I've seen a lot of them
No
with kids
offense
though.
to kids.
It's a great way to go with your kids.
I don't doubt that.
I don't doubt that. I agree with you.
But I'm just saying, like you go in.
Yeah.
You hit that for like 6 hours because you gotta like
6 is heavy, bro. Especially if I'm
minimum
drunk.
7.
Did you see the TikTok of the guys
7.
that did this?
You gotta go 7
Minimum
hours.
7 hours.
And
Okay.
they got a drink at each one of the individual parks, and they were wasted by the
that's
time.
That's what you do. Drink
But
around the
that's
world.
what I'm
right?
saying. That's what I'm saying. You can't be spending all this time with kids in the bathrooms,
Nah.
wanting snacks, pretzels,
In the words
You
of
get the most
souvenirs.
out of it.
In the words of Michael
Dude.
Jordan, FTK.
Yes, you hit the ground running. You make that VIP like person work, dude.
If like my wife and I were like super like amusement park people, like we would have done this by ourselves.
It would be a blast to, I don't know, it would take a lot to coordinate, but it would be a blast.
We are just trying to mentally prepare
with
ourselves
with a group.
Boot camping our kids right now.
It's hard though to go to Disney though and like not take the kids out a bit.
No.
Like you think your kids would be like, oh, we're cool with that.
I don't.
Or would you just be like, we're
Going out.
work trip.
Like my wife and I could go down there and knock it out in 2 days, right? But with kids, you gotta get down there. You really gotta like build up camp.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Why
But what
like,
I'm saying is like you're not taking kids. Are your kids going to freak out that you don't take them?
they will never know.
Okay, great. So there you go.
Covert.
You go down for a few nights. You get to eat well. You get to hang out with the wife. It's
Like,
enjoyable.
You get in, you get out.
Yeah, get in, get out. See what I wanted to see. I only need like 4 or 5
No,
hours.
you're
and I'm
not. You're
good.
not responsible for anybody but yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
you're drinking all day.
My wife might not even leave the room. I might just go to the park, do what I got to do, and come back. She don't care about none of that.
So many years ago, I was in Orlando with Shaylee and Bill McNamee.
Hell yeah, dude.
Was down there with his family, and we met up with him one day in Epcot. And he, John Mulaney's Salt and Pepper Diner bit where he talks about the guy that just got his anger management chip and is pissed off. That was Bill. Bill's like, these fucking kids are everywhere and I cannot lose them. And he was with his wife's family, like her parents.
I cannot lose them.
And he was just miserable. If he had hair, he would have pulled it all out.
Oh my God.
Just like the 45 minutes that we were with him getting a margarita, I could tell that was all
Bliss.
the relief
That's
that
all
he
you
had
needed.
felt in an entire week.
Oh, dude, you were behind enemy lines for a moment.
We went to just in reference to like taking kids places.
Yeah.
my anxiety goes through the roof when I got to take my kids to places like this. Like we went to the Towson Festival a few weeks ago, and I was losing my mind. Like,
He's got to put air tags in their pockets.
oh, I got them little watches.
That's the look.
I got them the watches, not the watches, the bands with the air tag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but that's like people can see that. You got to like hide it in their sneakers.
Yeah, people don't really care.
You remember the Nike Plus shoes? I'm sorry to distract you. Idiot.
I was going to say,
Yes.
people don't really
I know where you're going, and I also know where you're going. They're two very different directions.
don't really kidnap black kids, man. Like, we're all right. It's more because we lost Clark at the fair for like 3 minutes, and it was hell. 3 minutes, and not even 3 minutes. It might have been like 90 seconds. And I was like in complete terror. So ever since then, I'm like, I'm on watch. Where are they? I got all my sensors going. They got the AirTag watch straps, all that. So I'm gonna need a Xanax for Disney World. Like I just know it. Like it's just going in. I'm just gonna have to be very, very docile.
I'm a little surprised, and this might be like way crossing the line. I'm a little surprised we like never.
Please step over it.
I'm a little surprised we never got into like chipping kids. You know what I mean? Because like,
No, bro.
but like all of our dogs are chipped.
Chip them. Do it.
Like if somebody steals my dog, it can't like I can't track it live. But if it ever goes to a vet at any point in the rest of its life, I'll find out about it. So it's like,
Sure.
How are we not like? How is there not some? Maybe there is. How is there not like a comparable technology
right in their ankle or their heel
for a kid?
and like you should, especially like
Sure.
absolutely.
All right, stick with me though. And this is a very now thing, not so much,
You know how much trouble
ago.
you get in if you lose a kid?
There's also a whole lot of people, right, that are worried that the COVID vaccine gives you 5G. Okay,
100%.
So
100%.
now your child is chipped, right?
Your kid
but
gives
then
you
you're an adult that's chipped, and the government's tracking you.
I'm not
Never
advocating.
would happen.
I'm not advocating that
That's a whole
everybody
movie.
is going to do it. I'm just saying there are probably a lot of people that would consider it, like if it were an option. I'm just saying, is it an option?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yes, it's an option.
I'm
It
sure
is an option.
It's
I'm
an
sure you
option.
can go get a chip
It is
and they can
100%
put it in
option.
your kid.
Yeah, you remember that company? I believe it was a Swiss company who were chipping their employees, and they could just like buzz in and just do anything that they wanted. They didn't have to have like a badge. They just buzz into work. They buzz
Yeah.
into the vending machine.
Okay.
Yeah, you just put that in your kid.
Okay.
Easy. Handled.
Implant,
But
outpatient.
it
And
obviously-
then no one has the reader.
It must have not gone well.
No one has a reader.
There's an app.
There's an app for that. Oh shit! What if it was NFC and every iPhone you could
There
just
you go, man.
I've seen, that's the thing. Like, I feel as if somebody who's followed tech stuff for a long time, there's like every couple of years, you'll get articles about people putting like NFC stuff in their arm, their
Biohackers.
hands, or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, you can like pay at the grocery store with your hand or whatever. It's like, I get it. I understand. But like, why isn't it being
I lied.
implemented?
You cannot chip your kid.
Why
There we
not
go.
though? Is it against like a civil liberty of the child? They don't make their own.
I'm not
rules.
saying you
They're
can't
not
chip
18.
them forever.
I do what I want with you until
Like
you
I'm
turn
saying,
18.
once they turn like 18, the chip deactivates.
Yeah, and I guess there's some legality. Like,
It turns off.
What if it doesn't?
You take it out.
You can take it out. You can have.
That's what I'm saying.
You have the option. Or what if it just biodegrades inside of you after a certain time?
I'm not a big fan of that idea, but sure.
What if it's made of? What if you're vegan? It's
I
made
don't
of,
know
like,
how that works.
turkey
That seems-
bacon.
But we're finding that there are laws that prohibit this.
I don't know, man. I'm with it, man. Like my anxiety just goes through the roof when I go out to like places that are heavily crowded with my kids because I'm just like anything can happen, man. Like the world is crazy. You know, I make jokes
That's
about like,
my
you know, they don't
point.
kidnap black kids. People kidnap kids. People are sick out here, bro. And
I understand. What I'm
so-
saying is like I feel like they're looking for Apple Watch, phone, something
Yeah,
on their
yeah, yeah.
wrist.
Speaking
You're
of
gonna
this-
dump that stuff immediately.
Speaking of people out there kidnapping kids,
oh my God.
no,
That's something
it
you wanna talk to us
it just-
about, or-
No, it just popped up on Reddit the other day, within the last few days, Netflix had some show about, and I don't know the background on the show, but regardless, in the episode of this show, it was about children who are kidnapped when one parent loses custody. That parent will
Unsolved
kidnap
mysteries.
the child.
Yes.
And
Unsolved
so it
mysteries.
just popped up a few days ago that there was a child discovered
Yes.
like 10 years later
Saw
in
they
North
found
In
her.
Carolina.
Houston, she was
They found her.
a little black girl.
I don't know any of
Okay.
that detail, but it arose that she was found in North Carolina
They
and she
found
was
her,
from
yeah.
Chicago.
Yes, I'm sorry. I
And
said
it was like
Houston.
somebody in the mall like recognized
No,
her
it's a
from the
different one.
show. And it was
Yes.
just her face was on screen for like 3 seconds at the end of the show. They're like, these are some of the children that have been victims.
Yeah,
And
just disappeared.
yeah.
I saw one where young ladies, two little girls were taken out of an apartment because then the mother ran to the store. They were sisters. They were separated, and one of the sisters came on TikTok because she saw like the people were looking for her like 20 years later, and she's like, "Why are people looking for me? Like I've been here this whole time." Come to find out, she was kidnapped by some person, and they fled the city, raised them in a whole nother country. The aunt and the family have been looking for these people for like 20 years. And now she had to contact the FBI to give her bio data to their network to determine if it's actually her. Like, I could not imagine. Yeah, like
Craziness.
It's crazy. It's
Yep.
just crazy.
Had they all been shipped, this wouldn't have been a
Yeah,
problem.
Good call.
That's my only
Good to
point.
close it up there.
Just get them a QR code.
It doesn't have to be like a tracking chip. It's just like once they hit a pediatrician's office,
Now
it's
you're
like,
proposing. Now you're
you know,
proposing
flags.
tattooing codes onto people.
just what? Oh, Josh, fuck.
this guy.
These are your words.
yes, and you will.
I'm just asking
You will
questions.
remember that.
You know, I'm just asking questions.
I feel like I have the real estate.
All right, what's next on this list?
Please, yes. The Flash.
All right, to put a bow on the Disney thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Close this. Close
Put a
this
bow on the
box.
Disney thing. Maybe we'll see some of these. I like this idea of themed hotels.
Yeah,
I
I
think
do.
that could be fun,
Absolutely. Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe that'll be the future. All right, so the next thing is The Flash. You may or may not have seen this, but apparently there's all these spoilers that are being released about The Flash. All of these different like cameos and things that take place.
I haven't seen a single one.
All right. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I don't. The Flash comes out what in
weeks now,
like
right?
3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that there's been like 3 major spoilers that have
June
been released
16.
on The Flash as it relates to like cameos. And
I don't
different
care
things
about
like
spoilers.
this.
If you want to talk to me off air, I don't know if you want to spoil it. for our
No,
listeners.
no. it seems like DC is leaking like a sieve.
Oh, they're doing it purposefully to
No,
get.
I don't know if they're doing it purposely. I don't know how it's getting out. I mean, I guess.
Well, one of
people
them
are-
is at least the director
Yes, he confirmed.
has confirmed.
He confirmed. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's not that's not a spoiler if you confirmed it.
it came out and people were talking about it, and then he made comments on it later because he knew that it was released.
Well, what is it?
Do you really want to know?
I want to know now.
All right, so this is a spoiler warning for The Flash, which comes out
Turn the
on
show
June
off now.
16th. Please mute or skip ahead if you don't want it to be ruined.
Let's devote at most 1 minute to this. If you want to skip it,
You
skip
could just say
ahead
it.
Okay,
1
I'm
minute.
going to say it. All right, I'm going to say it now.
Go.
It's going to be very fast. Your reaction has to be super immediate. 3, 2, 1. Nicolas Cage is in it as Superman,
Oh wow.
and it's over.
Okay, I love that.
It's over.
Oh my god.
Okay, give it the thumbs up.
Oh
give
my.
everybody the thumbs
oh
up.
my god.
It's done.
Because
Moving on,
if you
moving on.
know about that, if you know about it, then if you know why that's important,
Yes,
then that's amazing. That's an amazing spoiler.
yes.
All right, we should.
I was
Can
equally.
you black out that
I
part
was
and then I just be
equally
my
as excited when
Okay.
I heard about that. I was like, "That's dope,
That's awesome.
dude.
That is
That's such a good
awesome.
thing."
We
But
need to make sure
anyway,
we clip that into a short.
Yeah, and then I just give my thumbs up.
yeah, that's great.
Just yeah.
So good. All right,
Oh, that's
next item.
awesome.
Last item,
Last item. Let's go, baby.
Tina Turner.
Oh, you put this on there.
God rest.
R.I.P. I don't have much to add to it. I mean, you know, it's obviously unfortunate. It's
Yeah,
super
it
sad.
happened today. You know,
Yes,
rolling on
Sad.
the river.
it is sad.
I think it is in the context of this show. What's Love got to do with it is one of probably the first movies, especially like culturally like black movies I remember like in the household. So Lawrence Fishburne, Angela Bassett, that's the first time I've like ever seen her. And I just remember her arms in the movie because she was like so fit.
Jacked up.
She was jacked. And, you know, that's, yes, very early memory. It's one of my first memories of like Tina Turner. So from there, like that's where I learned about her and who she is. And, you know, yeah, rest in peace.
Hell yeah. Very good. All right. My watch list, run through it real fast.
D&D, Jury Duty.
Jury Duty. Have you watched any of Jury Duty?
What is that?
Jury Duty.
James Marsden. James?
What's that on?
His first name?
I don't know if that's
Marsden.
it. Jury Duty. This is on. It's a weird thing. It's weird,
Amazon.
No, it's not.
It is. Amazon owns it.
They got a lot
what's
of
the
stuff
network
coming out.
though? Freebie.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick pitch on this show.
It is James Marsden.
Great. Perfect. I'm always bad with names, but concept of the show. It's like a docu-series kind of thing. Is the concept. It's a jury duty. All right. It takes place over like the course of a week. The whole thing is staged. Everybody is an actor. The whole thing is fake, except for one person on the jury who thinks that it's all real.
Nah, bro.
Yes.
I'm
so the
losing my
whole
mind.
show plays out. It's like, I think 8 or 10 episodes, but it's kind of like if The Office if there was one person on The Office that thought it was a real job.
Oh my God.
Is basically how it plays out. So your whole
It's a prank,
like,
kind of like a prank show.
kind of, yes. But it's less like, it's not like, you know, where's Ashton Kutcher? It's very much like a sitcom playing out, but there's just one person who's not in on the joke, which is why, like, where all of the kind of comedy and it is pretty incredible. If you're into cringe stuff, it's kind of, there are some very cringeworthy moments that like they put him in these situations that are pretty intense. But it's very funny. It's very well done. Worth a watch. It's easy to watch. It's a good time.
So,
Yep.
is the person in the dark the whole time? Like, do they ever find out that it's fake?
I have not finished it, but my sense is that at some point they reveal it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the last episode description does indicate that it is revealed to him eventually what is going on. Yeah. All right. Next thing.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets. We've talked about that.
Vanderpump.
Yep.
Missing Dead or Alive.
Missing Dead or Alive. Okay. Yellow Jackets season 2, not as good as season 1, but it's fine. We're enjoying it, getting through it. Vanderpump is at a fever pitch at this stage in the game.
Reunion show 1 on tonight. Or 4 days ago, depending.
Yeah,
5 days ago.
It is really taken over the Bravo universe as far as I'm concerned.
It is. Yeah.
And then the last one, which was Wanted, Dead or Alive. This is a Netflix series. It's I think 4-part series where we follow a missing persons unit. Basically, you basically follow them as they try to track down missing people. And the goal is to figure out whether they are like dead or alive. And it's
What
a
show? I was gonna say, what show can we start like that?
I don't know. I mean, I think you got to be in law enforcement. I don't know if we can just start looking for people.
Why not?
I mean, Dog did that. Didn't Dog just start doing that?
He's a bounty hunter.
No, he's technically a bounty hunter. I think you have to have a license or a permit to do that.
I mean, catfish, they just look for people.
I don't think you can just start like catching people.
You can, as long as you report it.
Oh, you definitely
Like
can.
once you
You're
get something
telling me
solid.
that I can just go down to Target and throw people in the back of my truck?
No,
You gotta look for them.
You can look for them
You're not
legally.
the one stealing them. You're looking for them.
No, I
You're
understand
looking for
that.
stolen people.
What?
I get that.
You can't
But
kidnap people.
but what if I claim like, oh, this person is a felon? I'm making
these
people
are wanted.
arrest.
No. Are they?
You were talking about Dog.
I no. I
Who is a
understand that.
bounty
You
hunter.
said, can't we just go looking for people? And you're right. I guess
No,
it's two
I
different
said
things.
I
You're
said
right.
you can't just
The
go
premise
looking
of the
for
show are they're looking for wanted people, dead or alive?
No,
No, they're looking for people that are missing, and they're
You can
wanting to know whether they're
100%
dead or
do
alive.
that.
Yeah, you can do
So,
that.
like for example, like a kid goes missing.
We can go find him if we
Yes,
get
but I
hired.
can't access credit reports, so it's not
Yes,
the
you
same.
can.
Yeah, you can.
just There are softwares that you can pay for to do these things.
There is you're telling me that you as a citizen
Yes.
can buy software that can tell you when my last credit card transaction was
Yes.
and where it was and how much it was for.
Absolutely.
I'm positive.
Landlords do it all the time.
No.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
guys, come on.
Yes.
Bro, yeah, you do it.
No,
Not
credit
without-
report is different than a credit statement. Yes, you can
okay,
pull credit
that-
reports.
you're right.
Yes.
You
Sorry.
can't do that.
Thank
Yes,
you.
can't do
My
that,
point
but your
is
credit
like the
report.
credit statements, which indicate all of my activity,
Transactions,
is not
yeah.
something
Right.
that is public
Right.
No.
beyond law enforcement.
Right.
That's my point.
Law enforcement can do that?
They have access, yes,
I thought
or
they
your
had to
cell
set- I thought
or
they had
your
to
cell
subpoena
phone
the
records.
Well, they do, but
Oh, yeah. Okay.
you know,
If you are a missing person and they can't find you, they can get a warrant to like dive into your credit statements, and they can look in your cell phone history, and they can track all that stuff. Like they can call AT&T and say, "Hey, we're looking for this person's phone number. We need to know if it's pinged any towers in the last 24 hours."
Don't we got any cop pals?
and a
regular
lot of the
person
time, you don't
can't-
need a warrant for that either.
A regular
because it's
person can't do
considered
that.
like an emergency life or death
Yeah,
situation.
let's find these people.
Correct.
These are police, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't call and go, "Hey," like
There are
I
official
can't-
channels.
I
What if
can't
I became a
find
private
Courtney.
investigator?
You have a license to be a private
And
investigator.
so, yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah, I still don't think you have access to that level of.
I'm persuasive.
Not with that bandana, you're not.
This guy. All right. Was there anything else on your watch list?
I don't know. What's on there, John?
Citadel.
Loving it. It's so ridiculous. It's gotten
getting
so,
trashed.
Yeah, it's getting so ridiculous.
But you say watch it. All right.
I mean, if you just like guns and espionage and ridiculous,
Then watch
It's
it.
a soap opera, yeah.
From?
So I was unaware that this show was in 2 seasons. So I started it because I'm like, oh, this is something new. Me and Chanel start. Chanel can't watch it anymore because she's been having nightmares. But it's from the creator of Lost. I don't know if I said this the last time when we went through my watch list, but it's crazy. People
Okay.
get lost on a road and they just end up in this town and they can't escape. And at night, they're
It's like Silent Hill.
they have these premonitions or these zombies or whatever haunt them.
Okay.
And if they get close to you, they will eat you alive. But they come disguised as like an ex-girlfriend or your mom or your grandma, someone who is from your past life.
Okay.
So the notion is that maybe these people are dead. It's kind of the same thing as Lost. Right?
Okay.
What else is on there, John?
Ghost zombies.
Barry.
Barry is off the rails, but still good.
Good.
Air, we talked about.
Talked about hair.
And Lakers Warriors.
And you're just talking about like
Lakers.
the status of their like match.
Oh, well, that was 2 weeks ago. They beat the Warriors. 2 nights ago, they got swept by Denver Nuggets. So,
All right.
bleh.
Blah.
Here it is.
All right.
Let's
There
go
it is.
football season.
Lock it up.
My
There it
basketball
is, boys.
season's over.
All right. Episode 57.
57
That's
in
a
the
wrap.
bag.
Clyde Mays was delicious. Very
It
good.
was. Very good. Good job, Josh.
Until next week.
See y'all.